during the summer, I picked up this at a yard sale. It's just the handset controller to a Wii U. I got it for an amazingly low $2 because they didn't have the rest of it. They just had this. They had no idea if it worked. And it also came with this, which is like a third-party charger for it, but no power connector, nothing. So I picked it up anyway, thinking, whatever, something will happen later. I'll come across one, blah, blah, blah. But then I started thinking, I wonder if I could put together a Frankenstein Wii U with pieces that I've gathered from other places and try to do this as cheap as possible. Well, let's see if I did it. That's today on Tech Guy Life. So like I said, I got this for $2 at a garage sale with the charger. No idea if it works. Nothing. It looks like it's been opened before because every little sticker is off of every screw cover. So that can't be a good sign with all the with all the screw covers gone. But it had a stylus, so bonus. Wii U's are still going, believe it or not, for about $180 Canadian, give or take. So somewhere between $150 and $180 Canadian, which I think is kind of crazy for a platform that is completely dead. Doesn't have a whole lot of games. Can use the Wii library, but just really didn't have a good adoption. And maybe that's part of the problem, is that there's just not a lot of them out there. But it sure seems like it when you look at, eBay. So that's where I went to find the console base. So I managed to find the console part of the Wii U on eBay, untested, got it for about $50 Canadian. So taking a shot on it, no idea if it works, no idea if it's going to pair with this other one. Pretty sure you can pair them together. I don't think they're tied to each other in any way, shape, or form other than, syncing them together. Taking a risk on this, I have no idea if it even works. Let's see if we can get these two pieces working, and we'll go from there. First thing we need is power. I'm assuming that this guy has a dead battery because it has not been charged for a while. So I went out and I picked up a generic, Amazon $5 charger for the Wii U. And let's just plug this into the charger base. Okay, it's lit up, so good, there's power. And let's throw this on here. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's turning on. A little blue light came on. Oh, good sign. It's working. Touchscreen worked, but it's not doing anything, obviously, because the console's not there. Could not connect to the Wii U console. It's working. Let's shut it off, and we'll leave it over there to charge. Now we have to look at this guy. It came with a power supply, so that's the only thing it came with. So I don't have to get another one of those, unless, of course, this one doesn't work. But let's go ahead and plug that in. All right, so I moved the tablet, plugged it in directly to the charger, because it's still not charged yet. It's been a while, but not long enough for it to hold a good enough charge. There is a red light on the front of the console, which you can't see, so you'll just have to kind of take my word for it. Let me see. So there is a red light on the front of the console, which means it's getting power. So let's turn it on, see if it boots. And blue light, and we got video. Well, that's a good sign. Okay, so it's got on here whatever their previous owner had. So let's turn on that. Could not connect. Makes sense. All right, so let's pair the gamepad and the console together and see if that works. All right, so apparently what we do is we just hold the sync button on the push the sync button on the front of the console, and then it says if you're going to pair a gamepad, press it again. And then what we want to do is push the sync button on the back of the gamepad. Sync button is on the back at the bottom here. So I'm just going to use the stylus to press it. The gamepad comes up with this screen, and you have to use the same matching pattern that we see on the console. So we go diamond, spade, diamond, spade. And here is the moment of truth. Can I Frankenstein together a Wii U? Yes. Yes, I can. Okay, so this has got someone else's stuff on this. Let's just try and see what they got on here. There's a couple of games, but they're probably disc-based games, I'm assuming. Let's see. Is that a disc-based game? Let's try starting it. It'll probably say put the disc in. Or maybe not. Oh, this looks like this was a download game. Awesome. I'm not going to keep this, by the way. I am going to format this thing. I just wanted to see if it actually worked. I'd say this Wii U is operating. We don't know if it's fully functional yet, but let's see. I picked up a disc game, so let's find out if that works. So let's push home, close the software. We should probably wipe this out and start over fresh and clear out this person's information. So let's go to system settings. Okay, here we go. Delete all content and settings. Delete everything. Seriously, you have to connect to a Wi-Fi in order to delete everything? 30 minutes to format 4 gigs of memory stuff? Jeez. Better not take 30 minutes. Oh my god, why is this taking so long? And then it just shuts off. Is it not going to turn itself back on? I don't think it's gonna. Okay, so I got to resync the gamepad. All right, let's repair this again. So, diamond, spade, diamond, spade. You know, if I was a kid and I got this console as a present, I would be dying right now for the amount of time it takes to go through all of this crap. Uh, I like that guy. I just want to try the drive and make sure the drive works and clear off the other people's data. Like, why is this a huge long process? Yeah, later. I don't care about a network ID right now. How could not now? Give me to the menu, thank you. Uh, come on. Finally at the menu. Holy jumping. All right. Time to try a disc. Oh, took it in okay. And the game shows up. I may have really lucked out here. I guess this is really a similar experience to any game system now. God forbid you actually put the real game and an operating game on the actual disc. Fine. All right, so apparently my console was on, I think I saw in the menu 5.5.5, and there's a 5.5.6. So that is what we are updating here because God forbid it just work on the 5.5.5. Once there's another one, it always forces you to update to something else. So we are like 20 plus minutes in to just setting up this console enough to play a game that we had on a disc. You know, I think we tolerate a little bit too much these days when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now it's got to restart the console. And we still haven't even got to the game update, probably. You know, I know even cartridge developers had done game updates and there was different revisions of some of the ROMs, but you know, the first one that came out would work just as well as the last one that came out. Okay, now can we play a game? Yeah. I'm going to run out of storage on my camera before this finishes downloading and installing. Just waiting for the update to finish. Think I've aged like 40 years. Oh, oh, come on. 6 minutes to 37 seconds. Jeez, you guys are worse than calculating time than Microsoft. All right, hopefully this is it. I don't think that timer is accurate. Really don't. I just want to play a game. Is that too much to ask from a game console? The video capture that I have running on this right now has been going since the beginning, and it is currently over 42 minutes in. I'm gonna have to go back and review to see if I started it like before or after, but 30 plus minutes to turn on this console, update it, and get a game going, and it's still not done yet. It's just terrible. Under a minute. Finally! Holy crap, it took forever. Oh my god. Okay, this is stupid. This is really stupid. I bet there's going to be some long cinematic cutscene. So it looks like one of the sticks has definitely got a problem. Yeah, because it always seems to go left. Okay. That's at least enough to prove that everything appears to be working fine. So there's nothing built into the Wii U in order to test the game controllers. These are not like there is in the currently in the Switch or anything like that to test all the buttons and stuff. Volume slider also doesn't seem to be working. So I think this has definitely been opened before. So let's try moving the stick around. Yeah, as soon as I move the stick, it starts going crazy. Well, I guess we'll have to take this apart and see if we can fix the stick. All right, let's get this gamepad open and see if we can fix the volume slider. And let's try cleaning the thumbsticks first. Got some deoxit here. We'll give that a try first before we go out and buy new ones. Looks like the screws are tri-wing. This side here is deeper than this one, and I can't get to it with this bit. Like, I love my iFixit toolkit, but it is not long enough. There. Luckily, I had a tri-wing screwdriver from something. It's actually a little small, but it was enough to work. Okay, we just got to get the battery door off and disconnect the battery and take that out. And this should come off now. Now, there is a cable connected right there. See that cable connected? That's connected to the battery connector inside the rear of the case. So I'm just going to disconnect that. Rear is off. So first, let's see if we can fix this volume slider. Yeah, just as I suspected, the volume slider is not actually in, like there's a little notch. There's a little notch on the plastic piece right there, which goes into part on the volume slider. It's supposed to sit in that piece of plastic, and it was not. All right, so I put the volume slider back on the little plastic tab to actually make that work properly now. And it actually has some tension, so I can feel that it's actually moving the actual slider properly. Let's get to the analog sticks and see if we can clean those. So first thing we do is we take out these. And the one that was having the problem was this one. So we had to take off the rubber button on there and the 4 screws. And this just should lift up and out of the way. This is our analog stick. So the analog stick is on its own little board, which is really nice for repair. And it is very dirty. There is a lot of lint and crap in it. So I think cleaning is a good first step. So let's just do that. Let's get it cleaned up. Move her around. So we gave it a good spray of deoxit. Let's reinstall it and try it out and see if it works. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the connector here. Connectors are nice. They actually have a little push down tab to lock it in. So when you reinstall the button on the top, take note, there is a big hole for the one side and a little hole for the other side. So it only goes on one way. If you try to put it on the other way, won't fit. Let's put this back together enough to test. Okay, so we got the console there. Let's turn it on. I'm telling you, it's not charged enough yet. Or maybe I have to replace the battery. There we go. It's working perfect now. It's not freaking out or anything. So we got down, up, left, and right are all working. Good. So just a cleaning saved us from having to replace that thumbstick, which it's not a huge expense, but I'm trying to do this on a budget, on a really slim budget. I think right now we're sitting at $57 Canadian for a whole Wii U unit right now, which I think is great. Let's put it back together. Forgot to test the volume slider. Turn it back on. Yep. Volume slider is functioning again. Excellent. Now let's button her up. Has anyone got a good way of extending these? Please let me know in the comments below. I'd really love to be able to use this screwdriver all the time and not have to resort to, things of this nature. Okay, last piece. Battery door. There are a few significant scratches on the display. There's one there, and a bunch of little ones all over the place. And since I can't see them when the game is on, I consider that a win. Now that we have the console working well and everything is, set back up, it's nice and fresh and clean, we need a couple extra pieces in order to consider this a complete system, at least in my mind. Number one, we need a Pro controller. Well, patience paid off. This took me a while to put all these parts together, but when you're on a budget, you gotta wait. Patience is a virtue, as they say. Found a Pro controller at the thrift store. It needs to be cleaned. It's not a brand new Pro controller or a Wii branded one, but it should work. It should do the job. Let's see if the battery works in it. We're going to press the sync button on the console. And then that brings up the sync screen on the Wii U. And then if I push the button on the back here, it's trying to pair apparently. There it goes. Pairing complete. So that worked great. So now we have a Pro controller. A little dirty one, mind you, but that's easy enough to clean up. So with the Pro controller set up, now I can have friends come over and we can play. We also need to get some Wii support built into this. So again, thrift store to the rescue. Sensor bar, $2. And it's like brand new. I think that's still the original twist tie. They had a whole ton of them at our local thrift store, and this was $2. But we also need some Wiimotes. So I found this one again, thrift store. This one was $3. Sync on the console, and then sync. Uh-oh. No power to the Wiimote. Maybe the batteries are no good? Oh, that's a good battery. That's a good battery. So we got a bad Wiimote. We will have to look at the Wiimote maybe in another video and see what's going on there. I did get one other Wiimote, but this one I already know is in a bad place. You can see all that corrosion in the connector for the accessories. It does not bode well for what is on the inside, which is complete another destruction almost in terms of the battery terminals and everything else. That is terrible. but I wonder if it'll work. Oh my God. You got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. The Wiimote that looks like it is dead, completely like terminals just destroyed, works fine. But the good looking one, the one that's not scratched and messed up, doesn't work. Go figure. But Chad carved his name into his Wiimote, and he did not take very good care of it. One thing I don't know if we can do is use the joystick here because, well, you know what? It's probably going to work. The rest of it has been a disaster, so why wouldn't this just work too? Let's see. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Where's the B button? That's the B button there. So that works. And it, oh my God, the controller port does work. Okay, well, I'll have to just clean those up then, and that'll be fine. So now we have a Wiimote, and we've got a Pro controller, and we got everything. So I want to test out these sticks and find out if everything is working as it should, especially with the controllers. I want to make sure that there's no stick drift and they're actually all functioning. But since there's no way to test controllers built into the Wii U, we're going to have to run Homebrew. And unfortunately, Nintendo has given us no other option because they could have easily have included an app for testing controllers in the Wii U. So I'm going to put a link in the description down below of a place where you can go to get full instructions as to how to do this. But unfortunately, I'm not going to show you here just because of the way that Nintendo has been. I know I'm a tiny YouTuber, super teeny tiny, but I ain't going to take a chance. All right, Homebrew is enabled. It's a little different than I used to do. I did a Wii U a long time ago, and the program you used to run was called Tiramisu, and now it's called Aroma, and it's a little bit different and doesn't have quite the same app support that Tiramisu had. But I did manage to find a tester for the controller just to make sure everything is working okay. So let's fire that up. Okay, so you can see it's a very fancy interface. It's just a screen, and all it does is when you hit certain buttons, it logs what they're doing. So no real good tester for drift or anything like that, but this will do. So we've got our Z buttons left and right, and our left and right triggers. And there is the up, down, left, right for the stick, and the right stick is good. D-pad, buttons, everything is working fine. But what this can also do for us is it can test the Pro controller. So let's connect our Pro controller. And our Pro controller is connected. So let's try it over here. Let's try it and see. So we've got our sticks are working. Buttons are working. D-pad's working. The two Z buttons and the two trigger buttons and the plus minus. So everything looks to be working on both controllers. So bonus. We managed to Frankenstein together a complete Wii U system. The base Wii U system ended us costing $50 and then $2 and then $5 for a charger. So that was about $57. Let's round it up to 60 just to keep numbers round. We've got $2 to add the Wii sensor bar. We had $3, I think, for that, for the Pro controller. So we're at 65. And then we have the Wiimotes and the sticks that ended up costing us another $5. So we're looking at a grand total of under $70 for a complete Wii U system. At least I think I got those numbers right. I'm sure you guys will correct me if I miss something in the comments below, because, you know, that's what you guys are here for. You're here for pointing out my errors and my mistakes, right? Excellent. So if you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, share the links. But that's it for this week. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.